What's going on, people? Today I wanted to talk about life and death, simply because human life is something that we take for granted, and I've never experienced like a death in the family or the death of a close friend, but I have experienced the death of a very close animal. Yeah, it brings me great pain to announce that last month I buried my rabbit. Yeah, I did. His name was Brink. He was actually named by one of my subscribers, which is really awesome. You know, that's an unforgettable video right there. You guys can look through that video. I think it's called Naming the Rabbits, but it was one of my subscribers who named him. I can't remember the name of my subscriber, but yeah, shout out to you, whoever you are. Anyway, if you still watch the videos, you're a boss. But anyway, yeah, Brink died last month, man, and it's funny because the day he actually died was an anniversary. It was December the 7th, and it's like I didn't realize that it was the day until I got like the certificate. Well, not the certificate, like I guess the receipt of his death, and it said December the 7th on it, and I realized, oh man, yeah, this is an anniversary, sorry, and I felt bad, man. But anyway, let me tell you how he died. He wasn't like my rabbit. Like, he was born to our family, and basically my sister, or my sister-in-law, but not really in-law. Basically, my older sister that's not really my sister. Yeah, she gave me the rabbit because she needed to go on holiday. Obviously, I moved away from her house a year ago, and she was going on holiday, and she couldn't look after the rabbit. Obviously, you can't take pets on holiday with you. So she gave me the rabbit to look after, and you know, it ended up me just taking full ownership of this rabbit. So, you know, I was like the responsible adult. Well, it pains me to say that I wasn't very responsible. You know, looking after a rabbit, it may come across as easy, but it's actually not. Rabbits need a lot of love and a lot of care, and that's something that I wasn't really giving it. I mean, I was like a newborn Christian at that time, so I was literally out of my house every day. I was rarely at home. When I was at home, I was asleep because I just tired myself out throughout the day. So when I got home, I never spent any time with my rabbit. So what I would do is, when I woke up in the morning, I would bring him outside, give him a bowl of food, and then when I come back, like in the evening, I just take him inside, give him some water, and that was it. There were some days where I forgot to give him food. There were some days where I didn't give him water. And there were some days where I literally didn't even let him outside because I was just in a rush, or my mind was just, you know, focused on other priorities. I wasn't very responsible. And, you know, last month, I brought him outside and it was raining outside, and I forgot to like take him inside when it started raining. And I was upstairs, I was in my room because I think I had a day off that day, and you know, my mum called out to me a couple of minutes later, oh well, about 10-20 minutes later, and she said, "Daniel, your rabbit is dying." And I was like, "Oh no, what's going on?" So I ran outside, looked out the window, and I could just see him in the corner, just literally on the floor. He looked like he was dead. So I went outside, you know, I was so scared to even pick him up. It was just such a horrible experience. So, you know, I picked him up, and I could see that his leg had like a wound. It had a gash wound. I thought he got attacked by a bird or a cat or something like that. But you know, he could barely stand. He was just shivering. He literally looked like he was dying. So I took him to the vet. Never been to a vet before. Didn't really know what to say. Kind of just told the truth, and they were like, "Yeah, you kind of have been neglecting your rabbit. He hasn't been eating properly. He soiled himself. He rarely cleans himself, and you know, he's not very well." So the veterinarian, the vet lady, very nice lady, She was like, yeah, we can operate, we can do surgery. It's gonna cost £500 for the weekend. I was like, what? £500 for the weekend? My first car cost £300. What are you talking about? Like, and it was a 50-50 chance that he wouldn't even make it. So I thought, oh man, this doesn't seem worth it. Like, absolutely, I would pay the money if it was like more than a 50-50 chance. But like, can you imagine going through that surgery? He doesn't make it? Like, come on. So, you know, I said, you know, look, it's not going to be worth it. Obviously, it wasn't as trivial as how I'm explaining it now. I'm just trying to, like, you know, just explain it just one quick time. But, yeah, it was sad at the moment. It was sad at the time. So, you know, what I did is, like, I had my last goodbyes, and he was going to have an injection in the heart that would just, like, kill him straight away. And we did that, and then, you know, he died. And I brought him home. And first thing I did is I went straight to the garden and I started digging. I started digging to make a hole to bury him in. And, you know, I dug a hole, I put him in there, covered it up, and then I said a prayer. And me saying the prayer wasn't so much for him, for Brink. It was more about for me. Because what I realized is that my laziness, my lack of responsibility killed an animal. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but when God created the universe, he gave us dominion over animals. We are the rulers of this earth. I mean, you got some powerful creatures on this planet. You got lions, bears, wolves, you got sea creatures. Things that would literally kill us in a fight, yet we rule over them. And something as small as a rabbit should be very easy to take care of, but I neglected it because of my laziness. And it made me think that if I can be responsible for the life of a rabbit and end up killing him, because that's what I did, and God has entrusted me with people's very souls, like, who am I to even, you know, have that kind of responsibility? Someone who can't even take care of a rabbit, you know? And the prayer was for me to really die to my laziness at the beginning of the new year, you know? And I wanted to do this commentary to kind of ask for some accountability. You know, obviously, I want to be open with my life and what I do and stuff like that. But it'll be really awesome if, like, you guys can hold me responsible for doing God's work. Like, send me a message saying, hey Dan, how's the Bible studies going? Are you still sharing your faith? Are you still, like, trying to make Christians? Are you still trying to be holy? You know, the reason I endeavor to change the world is so the world doesn't change me. My name is Daniel Ajay. I'm a Christian and a commentator and a filmmaker and so and so. But anyway, you guys are awesome. You always listen to what I have to say. Maybe leave in the comments any pets or animals that you may have buried and what the experience was like. Anyway, I love you guys. Take care. Peace.